We know we won't have protections at the federal level for a long time, so we need protections at the state level. Ralph Northrum has been at his side, on his side, every single time for those vetoes, and has went on record saying he supports those vetoes. I don't know much about his competitors, so I can't really speak to him, but I know Ralph personally. And we need to work very hard to get a Democrat in that office. And we need to work very hard to get delegates like The Rock who say that trans lives don't matter out of office as quickly as we can. So, recognize that we're hurting and we're scared and we need your help. We don't necessarily need you to speak for us. We need you to help us speak. We need you to help us connect with our representatives and hear the collection of our voices. Join us in doing cool things like carrying a flag in the Apple Blossom Parade. I can't think of anything cooler than that, right? Because heads are going to explode everywhere. And help us in these upcoming elections. That is the state of LGBT life here in Virginia right now, unless I've missed something. Have I missed anything, Lydia? Taco Tuesday. It is Taco Tuesday. I am more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. I know I dumped an awful lot on you, but again, in fairness, Mary said, talk about the state of LGBT life, which is a heady little topic. So,
yeah, thank you.
So you said you're, I mean, there was maybe kind of, might be like a trivial matter, like in terms of all LGBT issues, but like it's something I'd like to help with. How would you said you're facing like opposition getting the flag and the Apple Blossom Parade?
Well, we haven't received a definitive. There are various levels that you have to go through.
Right.
Before you get the final, right? And whenever you do something like this, we sit down and we have some pretty intensive strategy meetings over an awful lot of coffee, where we say, okay, if they approve us, this will happen. If they don't approve us, this will happen. What do we think they're going to do? And we go through the decision tree of going ahead and preparing. So, if they say that they will not approve us, we're going to make some serious noise over this, because they have denied previous LGBTQ floats in the past.
Well, they allowed George Allen to take his course in the parade.
I mean,
all of Winchester. I mean, that's
exactly. And they say that whatever you do has to have entertainment value. And I would counter that with 2 years ago you allowed the Devil's Den to drag dead bodies through the street when my 2-year-old was watching. So I think you have some questions from constituents. So it's not real good dead bodies. They look real to me. So, but things like that will be on the Valley Quality Project's page. There's calls to action all the time that talk about those things. And when we held the forum at Shenandoah University recently, most of the people we invited didn't show up. We specifically sent out 200 invitations to city council members and school board members and delegates. Even Betsy DeVos said she couldn't make it and sent her remarks. And an awful lot of other people did not even acknowledge the invitation. So when things like that happen, I think the appropriate response down that sort of decision tree of responses is to challenge school boards as to why they didn't feel that trans lives are children and there are trans kids on the panel. Why didn't you feel it was important to show up? It's 2 hours out of your week. They didn't send anyone. It was more community members than it was anyone else. Dave LaRock showed up because he has a personal vendetta against LGBTQ people. He calls us gender confused and uses a lot of other little nasty terms about us. But he has an agenda, and he did want to make sure. Tia, of course, showed up and was absolutely lovely, because she's a normal human being. But pay attention when things like that happen. The Valley Equality Project will have, if you can't make it, they will have the video there there, and you can make a response to someone like De La Rock that asks a really inappropriate question based on research that's been outdated for 50 years. That's the answer I would say is just to follow what's happening with the people on the ground, and then listen to whatever it is that they have to say in terms of what is the to do next.
So, as a lesbian, and so I'm just coming out, but most of you already know I am, and I just want to say that it is really hard, and just even the coming out process is really painful, and it is really scary, so listen to what she says, because she's right. And it's like I can say that in this group of people here because I feel really safe, and I feel like when you're in a group of people, you can all say, yeah, we're all for gay rights, and we love you gay people, and you're awesome, but when we go out into the community, it's like everybody's mouth just gets shut, right? I mean, like around here anyway. And so it's easy when you're with a group of people that support what you do. The hard thing is going to be to go out there and when you're, confronted with people who think that we're horrible people like Danny Rock or even just your neighbor, it's hard to speak up. And I just think, just do it because, I don't know, do you have that?
And that's where the change happens, right?
Right.
And to an even greater extent, it's easier to say, my gay neighbors are okay, and I'm not going to tolerate what you have to say about them, than to say, it's okay for this trans person to use this bathroom. You don't get to tell him or her where to pee. That's not your job. And I've had to do that in public before. But an awful lot of people wouldn't do that because it comes with a personal risk. But this is the point of history where we are. And you get opportunities every single day, whether you know it or not, to be on the right side or the wrong side of history. Every single day. And I know an awful lot of people who are trans and struggle with something so simple as, just existing. Just existing. We're not even talking about, let's just forget about bathrooms for a minute. Just existing. Laverne Cox said that, and for those of you who don't know Laverne Cox, she's on Orange is the New Black, the beautiful African-American trans woman who I met in person and smells like angels. I mean, wonderful person. Angels, right? Yeah. So she said that it's now a crime to walk while trans. And she's absolutely right. It's a crime to walk while trans. We have surpassed the number of hate crimes on the book against trans individuals this year. Already, we broke the record already. We're not even through the spring. So standing up to friends, standing up in public is a really hard thing. But I can tell you, I've done a lot of it in my life, and you will always feel better about what you say to someone who's being a jerk than when you go home and you realize you didn't say anything. I've been kicked out of a Boston market because the guy in front of me buying chicken said, with maggots like that working behind the counter, it's amazing we don't all have AIDS. So I had to have a little conversation, turn into a big conversation that turned into me not getting my rotisserie chicken for the day. But I remember that moment because if I'd have walked away and had not said anything, I wouldn't be able to go home with myself in the mirror. Because this is the moment where you get to say, this matters. And this is the moment where you get to say, I'm on the right side of history here. And I guarantee you will be. I guarantee it. The Civil Rights Act protects trans people. Title IX protects trans people, period. Does not matter what Trump has to say in his memorandum. When that case gets to the Supreme Court, does not matter who's on the court. Title IX has that protection in there, in this document. I think you have a...
Yeah, I wanted to ask, how can we make sure that there's something in place with the schools, in our school area, that if there are people having problems, that there's a flyer, there's direction on how to get help?
So schools are tricky because you're talking about people who are helping people who are under the age of 18. So anytime you have adults seeking to help people who are under the age of 18, you have a barrier, right? So the way to overcome that barrier is with mass That's why the Valley Equality Project exists. So that at some point, the Valley Equality Project can say, we have 200 members here that would like to talk to you, Mr. Superintendent, Ms. Superintendent, about how you intend to protect trans people. We know this memorandum from the Obama administration exists to protect trans people. We know that Trump has rescinded the memorandum. That does not mean that Title IX goes away. The protections still exist. The memorandum is just kind of like, hey, you better do this, right? So getting involved with the local community that is acting is very important. If that's something that feels like too much for you, you can, because everyone's schedules are packed and we all have pet projects that there is a lot to be pissed at right now, right? You can also get involved with Equality Virginia, which has action alerts. And action alerts seems hokey when you first do it, but I have a very good rapport with Delegate Minshew, and he will tell me, he'll say, I got 500 emails from that stupid action alert today about this particular religious freedom bill, and I hadn't heard anything from the opposition. They do pay attention to that, so sign up for a mailing list, like Equality Virginia, you can help there. We have a plan in place to start talking to the local school boards and to start working heavier with their gay straight alliances, their GSAs, so that we can do more for those individuals. And part of what we can do is to give them that opportunity for fellowship. You know, once they hear about us and say, the VEP, the Valley Equality Project, is having a Star Wars trivia night, I can come to a Star Wars trivia night and be around 90 other kids who are also LGBTQ, and I can go use a bathroom that says on the door, we don't care where you pee. We really just want you to wash your hands. We want you to be safe, we want you to feel safe, we want you to feel loved, and we want you to wash your hands. So that is how you start there. An individual by themselves is throwing bullets at a wall, but a big project like a Valley Equality Project is throwing cannonballs. So that's the difference. I've been doing this for 20 years, and it always makes a difference when you have mass. Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I have an experience that many of you might have shared. When I was a little kid, I learned the most popular words from the Declaration of Independence. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. You know that in class. But I, from a little girl, thought that equal meant the same. And when you think of the Declaration of Independence in that light, it's not a very strong statement. What the Declaration of Independence was doing was saying, we hold these truths to be self-evident, and we are going to protect them because we are going to form a government that has never been seen before in the world. We are going to form a government that makes us understand we are going to govern as if we were all equal. What a difference that makes. What a powerful statement that is. And that's what we need to be supporting more and more. The government that acts as if we were all equal. Thank you.